How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host of Rising Oblivion, and I know it's been a little while, but I decided let's talk about some Dragon Ball stuff. It looks like there's been a bit of a dry spell when it comes to Persona as we're waiting for the games to come out, but I've been keeping my eye on Dragon Ball Kakarot, and I've honestly been having a lot of fun playing it. But the developers have came out and talked about how it's been a long time since they've said really much about DLC 3 and what we're going to be getting. So we've had the Awakening DLCs 1 and 2, which is basically going over the Battle of Gods arc and then the Resurrection F arc. So both of the movies, or you could say that this is actually just the beginning of Dragon Ball Super, is what they are tapping into. So we have the Super Saiyan God stuff, we have Super Saiyan Blue within the game already. So there's a couple different avenues that they could go with here. There's Super Saiyan Blue, so Super Saiyan Blue is done. We don't have Ultra Instinct or anything like that in the game yet, but it looks like that they could have a soul progression going to something like that in the future, maybe with DLC 4 or something like that, or later potential season passes, like similar to what they did with the Dragon Ball Xenoverse. We could see something like that later, but DLC 3 has to be something that goes after Super Saiyan Blue. So we have to figure out basically where does that leave us off at? Where could they possibly go? And one of them that I think would actually be interesting for them to go down to is the Broly movie. So we have the Broly movie being one of the possible things that they could go to next. Super Saiyan Blue, Goku and Vegeta are already in the game. Golden Frieza is in the game, which we end up seeing in the Broly movie. So we have all the characters pretty much there. All they would have to do now is bring in a Broly model, have Broly be there, have some different environments with Broly as well, and then basically we would have that whole DLC ready to go. Obviously they'd have to do stuff with like voice acting and getting different characters in to do the voices and stuff like that. Rest in peace, Vic Mignogna. But we could have multiple ways that we could really go here. So it's not just the Broly movie that could happen. They could just continue down the Dragon Ball Super story, but the Broly movie could technically happen around this time within Super, somewhere around here. This could be potentially where this ends up happening, but there are a couple different things that they could go down, which is more like the Tournament of Power stuff like what we have here. We could see Khalifa, different people from the Tournament of Power arc actually be within here and going to, seeing the other Saiyans on the different universe. We could have something like this instead, where they have a lot of different characters from the Tournament of Power, having that being a different story arc that could go down as well. So DLC 3 could either be Broly, it could be this, or the Tournament of Power. However, I think for them to actually make the Tournament of Power and have all these different characters in the game seems a little bit less likely because of how much work it would actually have to do. But because of how long DLC 3 has been taking for them to develop, that could be why it's taking so long, is the fact that they're having to do so many different characters and so much voice lines. There's probably a lot of work going behind something like this. If this is the route that they are trying to go down, there's a good chance that a lot of the work is going towards voice acting, creating different character models, and things like that. But there is one other potential thing that they could go down as well. With Super Saiyan Blue already being in the game, we could be seeing a future Trunks arc with Goku Black as Zamasu. So this actually, I think, would be my second choice. I'd rather have the Broly or the Super Trunks, arc basically be a thing where we see Super Saiyan God-looking Trunks or whatever it is that happens within that snippet there of Dragon Ball Super. And this is one of my most favorite parts within the Dragon Ball Super bit, just seeing Future Trunks, because Future Trunks, honestly, I think is one of the coolest characters in all of Dragon Ball Z, really. Just seeing his whole story happen within Z, and then we see him within Super, and he comes back, and he's just the same guy. He's cool. It's dope. And having Goku Black within the game would be so freaking cool. Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Super Saiyan Rose, Goku Black. That would be pretty interesting to see as well. Not only that, getting Zamasu in the game, getting, transformed Zamasu, fused Zamasu, however you want to put it, would also be pretty dope as well. And getting Future Trunks within the game and having his potential Super Saiyan Goddish transformation would also be a really cool arc that they could go down within the game as well. And I don't think this one's super demanding when it comes to the team creating a DLC for this, because most of the assets are in the game. All they have to do is make a couple more different characters and they basically have this. The Tournament of Power, there's a lot more, and when we're talking about the Broly movie, there's not a ton that they'd have to do either, really. They just have to make Broly and some of the different environments from that game. So when it comes to actual environments, the Broly movie would be pretty dope because we're going on different planets and we're seeing different places there. We're going to Broly's planet, and there's some certain spots on on Earth, you know, the icy place on Earth, but the, you know, Trunks arc, we're basically only in modern day, like Dragon Ball Super, but we're also in the destroyed futuristic city. So really, both of these have some pretty dope environments. Either we have the Broly movie where we're going to Broly's planet and we're seeing different planets, and going to the icy place where we finally kind of finish Broly off within the movie, or we could have the future destroyed Earth, you know, place environment from the Trunks, you know, bit during, you know, Super. That I think would be a really cool place to see. Not too many games. I remember Dragon Ball Sagas. If you remember that from such a long time ago, had like the future Trunks be like an entire arc, and seeing the whole environment of like the destroyed Earth within like the futuristic, you know, like dystopian future, I think is such a cool idea. I love seeing stuff like that, and having this within Super was even better. Whenever we see Trunks again, having the whole destroyed Earth, destroyed planet, the androids destroyed mostly everything, and now we have Goku Black there. Having that be a whole fight would be pretty dope as well. The only bad thing about the Broly or the, you know, Goku Black arc and having that in there is they both are kind of short, but so were kind of the Battle of Gods and the Resurrection F. There's like one big bad enemy pretty much in each. At least with Broly, we could also potentially fight Broly's dad as well as another enemy that we could have in the game, because he kind of does fight a little bit. He is here and there, but we're not really getting a whole lot when it comes to multiple fights and multiple things that we can really do here. So I trust the team to pick probably the best one that they possibly could. The bad thing about the Broly movie is, like, where does it fit within canon? It really could fit anywhere. But the Super stuff, we do know chronologically where it does go. But the Broly movie, it's sort of hard to exactly pinpoint where it is within there. We just basically know the transformations that Goku and Vegeta can do. We just know that type of stuff. Not only would it be cool to get these DLCs, but we'd also get things like Vegito as well, because we get the Potara earrings, and, you know, we get the fusion stuff within these different arcs, with either in Super or within the movies. We get these different things, which would also lead to more characters within the game, which in the end of the day, that's what we want. We want more cooler characters, better environments, better places to fight at. Overall, that's what we really want for this. But let me know, guys, down in the comment section below, what kind of place would you like to see for a DLC? Do you want me to keep covering Dragon Ball content? I know a lot of you were subscribed originally for this stuff, so thank you for all of you who have stuck around. I've seen you all talk about how, like, I still comment on videos that I have from like 4 or 5 years ago on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which it's such an old game and such a hard time to think about now, because, like, that was my freshman year of college and I'm out of it now. So I still thank all of you who have stuck with me for that long. Honestly, it's been a crazy ride, but I'm ready just to keep talking about more topics, talk about Dragon Ball, talk about Persona, just talk about the stuff I love. And I'd like to thank you guys all for, you know, letting me continue to keep doing that kind of stuff. So subscribe if you want to be always up to date on more content when it comes to this type of stuff. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching.